Hey there, quirky peeps! This week is all about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The film has broken box office records quite deservingly, and we're just super happy with what it has done. So today we're going to talk about it once again. This film was a total MCU package. It had heart, humor, and some amazing action sequences. Along with that, it had a few amazing cameos that connected it to the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Spoiler warning for those who haven't seen the film yet. Go watch it, people. What are you doing, really? It's great. Go and have a good time. And for those who have seen the film, be with me, because I'm going to take you on another amazing ride. Shang-Chi shared connections to several past MCU films. It was obviously connected to Doctor Strange through sorcery, multiversal dimensions, and Wong.
Come on.
But we also got a surprise connection to the Incredible Hulk through the Abomination. A Red Room agent showed up out of nowhere in Jia Ling's fighting pit. She was fighting an extremist soldier from Iron Man 3. Other Iron Man connections were about the Ten Rings and how Aldrich Killian faked the Mandarin using Trevor. Speaking of Trevor, Ben Kingsley made his return to the MCU and totally redeemed the horrors of Iron Man 3. But apart from these connections with the past, Shang-Chi also managed to set up the future of MCU in the best way possible. Before we look at all the future setups, it would be nice if you guys would hit the subscribe button, and do press the notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos. Okay, now first of all, here are all the confirmed setups. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Wong's role in Shang-Chi turned out to be quite crucial, and it had set up his arc in Doctor Strange too. But apart from the Wong setup, Shang-Chi could have given us a hint for the villain of the Multiverse of Madness. In the post-credits scene, we saw how the Ten Rings were actually acting as a beacon. They were signaling a foreign entity across the universe, or perhaps somewhere in the multiverse. A big villain is said to be coming in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So maybe the rings were signaling someone like Ashuma Gorath, Nightmare, or even Mephisto. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Next up, we got a clear setup for She-Hulk. Tim Roth is set to return as Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination in She-Hulk. But before that, he showed up in Shang-Chi and we saw a change in his attitude. So, is he playing a good guy in She-Hulk? I guess it remains to be seen. The change in this behavior could also be setting up his role in a future Thunderbolts project. Besides Blonsky's arc, the mid-credits scene of Shang-Chi also gives us an interesting setup for Bruce Banner's role in She-Hulk. The last time we saw him, he was in his Smart Hulk state and had his arm strapped after the snap. And now, he has somehow reverted back into Bruce Banner. His arm is still damaged, but he looks much older. So we might see how Smart Hulk turned into Banner once again after he and Hulk made it to work during the 5-year time jump. The Marvels. Carol Danvers also showed up in the mid-credits scene. Her hair had grown after Endgame. Once again, we saw her attending a galactic Zoom call. And yet, she had to rush as she was busy with something mysterious. Maybe the call she got while speaking to Wong could lead us directly into the Marvels. Or it could even be a setup for her small role in Miss Marvel. I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. Next up, we've got an obvious setup for Shang-Chi 2. After a record-breaking Labor Day opening, I'm pretty sure that Shang-Chi will turn into a solo franchise. There's a lot to go forward with. Shang-Chi's love story with Katie could be explored further. The incoming threat that the Ten Rings were signaling could be someone like Fin Fang Foom, who might be the villain of Shang-Chi 2. Jia Ling ended up on the throne of the Ten Rings. Since she might continue her father's evil operations, Shang-Chi might return home to put an end to all that. Or maybe, we might see him taking his father's throne by the end of Shang-Chi 2. Clearly, this franchise could be taken further in many ways. I really wanted Shang-Chi to set up Iron Fist so we could see these two master martial artists teaming up in the sequel. Maybe Shang-Chi did set up Iron Fist by telling us that dimensions like Ta Lo exist. So, Kunlun could be coming because of Shang-Chi. Anyway, after his own sequel setup, we also got a Shang-Chi ticket to the new Avengers.
The legacy of all who came before you. It is all a part of who you are.
Bruce Banner ended his conversation by welcoming Shang-Chi into the circus. Now I don't know what you perceived from this, Banner was obviously talking about Shang-Chi's upcoming part in the craziness of the Marvel Universe, but it was clearly an informal invitation to join the new Avengers. Everywhere we see on the internet, Shang-Chi is being labeled as our favorite new Avenger, so he is definitely a candidate to join the next lineup of Avengers in the 5th mega crossover event. I'd really love to see his interaction with the likes of Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and several other heroes. And with his 10 rings, he won't just prove his worth among the extremely powerful heroes of the team, but he'd also give us some crazy over-the-top action sequences.
Watch this.
Show off. Gun it.
Besides these confirmed arrangements, we also got some other possible setups. One of those could be for Eternals.
We're Eternals.
The 10 rings are based on Mukluan tech in the comics, but they are much different in the MCU. The Mandarin in the books found these rings on a crashed alien spacecraft, and in the MCU, it was stated that Wenwu might have found them in a crater or a tomb, but none of that was confirmed. So maybe he could have found these rings in alien spacecrafts that Eternals brought with them. The Eternals trailer showed us Phastos leading everyone to the site where they parked their ship. So maybe Wenwu came across the Eternal ship or found the rings lying around it somewhere. These power rings are said to be older than 1,000 years, and the Eternals have been on Earth for 7,000 years.
We came here 7,000 years ago to protect humans from the deviants.
So maybe this tech belongs to them. Besides the Eternals movie, we got another setup for the 10 rings.
It's time for you to take your place by my side.
Before taking her father's throne, Xiaoling managed to build her own fighting tournament empire in Macau. And now, one might be thinking that she could expand her father's criminal operations throughout the world. But the scene ended with some new people practicing in the 10 rings vicinity. And at the end, it was also stated that the 10 rings will return. So I believe that Xiaoling will actually be using her father's resources to expand her own fighting empire. Before the movie came out, we actually thought that we'll be seeing a full-blown fighting tournament, which will have the 10 rings as its prize. While that did not happen, we did get the setup for a superhero fight club, which had Wong taking on the Abomination. So I think that the 10 rings will now become the 10 rings of battle. And we might see several enhanced individuals battling each other in a separate Disney Plus series. This series could become MCU's PG-13 version of Mortal Kombat, and it could give us our dream matchups. Heroes could fight heroes, villains could battle other villains for money, and it will all be streamed through the dark web.
Operation. Every fight, live stream on the dark web. Thousands of viewers placing bets as we speak. This is gonna take your brand to a whole new level.
Or better, what if it were to be legalized? It could pull in great audiences across the world, who would come to watch their favorite heroes or villains fight each other. People like the Red Guardian could become stars of this tournament. Just imagine if someone like Taskmaster were to join this fight league. He could take on Moon Knight or some other individual. New characters like Luke Cage and Iron Fist could be introduced through this tournament. Other low-tier Marvel characters could be brought into the mix. Maybe we might get to see a few mutants like Gambit take part in it. That would be awesome, don't you think? We'll see what this project could have in store for us. Okay, that's all for now. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out some more fun content on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!